So the next part of your argument essay are the body paragraphs. So you're going to have 3 body paragraphs, and these body paragraphs are going to be built around your 3 individual pieces of evidence. So each body paragraph needs to start with an introductory sentence. This will be like your central idea, what your paragraph will be about. So it introduces your next point that you wish to make, and then it leads into the evidence. So you have an intro sentence. This typically starts with a transition. You're going to be required to have 6 transitions throughout your entire essay. So if you have at least 1 transition in each body paragraph, that takes care of 3 of them. So it typically starts with a transition. Then we move on to the evidence, and this is where you present your evidence to support your claim. Don't forget, you need to introduce your evidence with a sentence starter. You can use the ones that are on the back bulletin board on your race writing strategy cheat sheet. And then don't forget to cite your source with an in-text citation. The last part of a body paragraph includes the commentary. And this is the part where you have your reasoning. So you're explaining your evidence. So these are sentences in an argument essay that explain what is important about the evidence and tells the reader how it proves and supports the claim. We write commentary in 3 parts. So basically your commentary is going to be 3 separate sentences. The first sentence is just you as the writer re-explaining those facts. You are going to put your evidence in your own words. So in essence, you're paraphrasing it. The second sentence of your commentary, you are telling what's important about those facts. Why is it so important that you included it in your body paragraph? And then lastly, you're going to explain how the evidence proves and supports the claim. So you're going to have 3 body paragraphs, like I said. This is something that you need to remember here in orange. In the last body paragraph, you, as the writer, need to acknowledge the opposing viewpoint. So in this essay, we're just acknowledging that there is another side of this argument, and we're acknowledging it. However, we're going to prove that our case is the better one. So after you acknowledge that there is another point of view, you will provide your last piece of evidence to drive home your point, to drive home your claim. So in the outline, you're going to see when you come to the last body paragraph as you're writing that I have included a reminder. It's highlighted, I think it's highlighted in like neon blue, or actually I think it's orange, to remind you to include that acknowledgement. Okay? So let's talk more about evidence. Like I said, when you're introducing the evidence, do not forget to use a sentence starter. So here's an example. The writer states, that's my sentence starter, comma, and then your quote, right? I have my piece of evidence. Notice I did not put the period inside the quote because I still have to do my in-text citation. For this website, there was no author, so I'm using the title of the article in quotes. I got my information from the first page. Again, commentary. Let's talk more about this. Commentary does 3 things. This is, again, when you're explaining the evidence. It connects the evidence to the claim. It provides the significance of the evidence, so why it's important. And it explains the evidence. Excuse me. So some questions that you can ask yourself while writing commentary are the following. What do I need to explain to make sure the reader understands this evidence? Why is this evidence important? And how does the evidence prove and support the claim? Let's talk a little bit about the word because while writing in commentary. Because is a word that tells a reader that they're about to hear some sort of explanation. The word because signals a relationship. And it is a very effective word to use while writing commentary because, like it was said before, because shows some kind of relationship. So let's look at these examples here. Let's look at number 1. This is part of the commentary. These statistics are important because they point to the effects of the kudzu plant on other native species of trees. Number 2, scientists must pay attention to such issues because they prove that there is a relationship between the rate of growth and the impacts on the ecosystem. So you see I've used because in different ways, different locations. Now let's talk strong commentary verbs. Here are some that are going to really be an asset to you while you're writing your commentary. Are these all of the strong commentary verbs that you could use? No, but these are some to get you started. You're going to be required to have a number of strong commentary verbs in your essay. You'll be able to see that on a checklist that I give you. So you're going to be required to incorporate these strong commentary verbs. And if we go back to the slide previously, you'll see that I have used point to, okay? We have on this slide points out, all right? And then I've used the word prove here. All right, we have the word proves here. So these are going to be helpful to drive home your claim. Let's look at some examples here. I have some factual evidence. According to a recent National Wildlife Federation online article, approximately 42% of threatened or endangered species are at risk primarily due to invasive species. Here's the commentary. These numbers are important because they point out the causes of endangered and threatened species and how serious the invasive species problem is. So that tells why the evidence is important. Second sentence. Threatened or endangered species are at risk of extinction. If humans do not take action soon, it might be too late to save those species. So again, I'm proving the point as to why humans should intervene in some way. And we have some questions. Number 1, did the student use because in his or her commentary? And then number 2, where's the strong commentary verb? All right, let's look at a piece of anecdotal evidence. My friends and I feel scared about the loss of native wildlife. Tanisha said, I can't imagine losing so many animals just because of plants and animals that don't belong. What about future generations? Here's the commentary. Tanisha's statements about feeling upset about the loss of animals confirms the negative effects that invasive species can have on young people who are concerned about the future of native wildlife. If the invasive species were controlled or stopped, the native wildlife might be able to survive. Leaders and decision makers must pay attention to such concerns because they prove that there is a relationship between what we do and how it impacts the environment. So again, we want to double check to see that the author, the writer, uses the word because. And we need to identify the strong commentary verb. And that is where we're going to stop. We will move on to the conclusion in the next few days. So we're going to work on the commentary and developing that. in the outline next.